You are listening to episode 66 of the Peaceful Mind podcast. Welcome to the Peaceful Mind podcast, a place for creating the peace of mind you need to be the best mom you were created by God to be. If you want to bring more balance, more joy, and more peace to your motherhood, this is the place for you. I'm your host, certified life coach and Catholic mom, Danielle Tienel. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, let's get started. Hey everyone, how is your fall going? If you are listening to this in real time, it is November and it's lovely outside. A chill in the air. It's definitely here to stay now. But if you are listening at a future time, which is totally a possibility, since that is exactly why I love the aspect of podcasting, because you can listen to them whenever you want, even if it's years later, and you can listen to them repeatedly and hear things in a different way. And just like we go in and out of the seasons every year, we are in different seasons of our life when these concepts and tools that you are hearing on the podcast will be applied to your life in different ways. So for today's episode, if you find you are in the season of life where you would label yourself as busy, then listen up. Because not only are you going to learn to what it is that will have you taking a break from busy, I am also going to tell you at the end of the show of how you can join my new group coaching program, Busy to Balanced, because you will want to snag one of those seats now for that because it will be starting soon. Okay, let's dive in. Busy is a word that is used a lot in our mom vocabulary. In fact, we latched onto it much earlier in our lives and even before motherhood shined an even brighter light on it for ourselves. But today, I want you to take a break from it. It may mean you take a break from actually doing some things you currently do, but maybe not. The kind of break that I am suggesting, just like everything I teach and coach about, means rewiring how our brain looks at busy as a state of being. Right now, the definition most of us associate busy with is being occupied and having a great deal to do. But what if busy wasn't a thing? What if you couldn't ever define yourself as busy? What if it wasn't anything that anyone else thought of as a thing either? And so it was only something that you made up. And because of that, it was something you could unmake up, unbelieve, actually banish from your mind altogether. Like the choice was yours to never be in a state of, quote, busy. Well, my beautiful mamas, I am here to tell you that like anything else, it's not a fact, that statement, I'm busy. And it's something you can stop believing about yourself starting today. And can you see why you might want to? Can you see how when you are thinking to yourself that you are busy and saying to yourself that you're too busy, or you're going over and over in your head so much that there is too much to do and too much on my plate and I won't be able to get all this done, and how we feel so overwhelmed when we're thinking those thoughts. And then we don't do the things we want to do, or at the very least we do them, but we're not so super effective at them. We get to choose what we do when we do it, and we cannot do it on purpose too. But ultimately, how we are thinking about everything is what we will create how we feel and the actions we take. And then those actions have us ending up in a place that we would define as something we like or not for our life. I am pointing out that if we were to redefine our lives and all that we have going on in the way that where busy wasn't a part of it, I know that you would welcome in some more feelings of being in control and more feelings of peace. I'd like to challenge you to even take a break from uttering the word busy or any phrase about yourself that includes busy in it. It's kind of like an I'm busy diet that I'm suggesting. Now, I want to give you 3 things to take away today that you can think about that will support this undertaking of taking a break from busy. I'd like you to view it as an experiment, right? So here are 3 things. Number 1, when we just keep going on autopilot per se, we are just taking action from old thought patterns. We are moving at the effect of our brain. We are letting it run us. And I call this part of your brain the lower brain, the brain that likes status quo and hates change and wants everything to be easy and efficient. And it's easy and efficient to just keep on thinking that way. However, to take a break from busy, we can tap into the higher place in our brain. The really specific name for it is the prefrontal cortex. And here is where we tap into our useful planning, ahead of time kind of power that we have access to. When we are busy, we are not making decisions from this place. We're not making decisions from a place of intention and purpose. And when you do plan in advance in this way, you will then take deliberate action, and this type of action feels amazing. This is what I help all my clients with the most, not listening to our lower brain, but tapping into your higher brain instead. Okay, another thing to think about, number 2, that will support you in taking a break from busy in this experiment is to stop people pleasing. If you recall last week's episode on I want to versus I have to, I tapped into the positive results and different energy you create when you actually really believe that you want to be doing something instead of believing you have to do something. Well, when we say yes to someone, like, for instance, let's say perhaps your child's teacher who is asking for additional drivers for the next school field trip. And it's on Tuesday. And you, quote, add to your busy schedule when you say yes to going. Especially if you have these thoughts that like, good moms volunteer for all the school functions, or I want the teacher to believe I'm active in my child's school life, or any other thoughts along those lines, then you are people pleasing. Because the truth for you is you don't want to go and you want to say no, because that would leave space for you to take care of what you had already planned to do that day. But you busy yourself with adding things to your schedule out of people pleasing. And this does add up if you stop and took the time to see all the things you're doing, not serving from a really like good and generous place of, I really want to help, because that's, I want you to keep. If you totally want to do something that someone's asked you to do and you find that it's coming from a place of service, yes. I'm talking about how we layer more, quote, busy thoughts onto ourselves when we actually pile on and take on things to our schedule that we really actually don't want to be doing, that we are saying yes to those things because we're actually afraid to say no, because we think that other people will think, different of us. And as you learn on this podcast, everybody gets their own thoughts and feelings and actions. And so you don't have an impact on that anyway. So you want to come from a place where you're looking at what you are thinking and feeling. And when we say yes, when we really mean no, not only is it a form of lying, but it's also adding to your already list of things to do. And then from there, you access these thoughts of, I'm so busy. So the third and final support I want to leave you with today is I want you to add to your take a break from busy experiment is taking some steps forward in self-care for yourself. I am on a mission for moms to prioritize themselves and feel better. Because when moms feel better, everyone around you benefits. So to use the analogy of a bucket to represent you, mamas, it's a beautiful bucket. I want to make sure that you know that. And many of you out there have several holes in your bucket. Some are big holes. And no matter what you do to fill up and put in your bucket, important things just keep leaking out. And then there is not enough in you to give to others. But self-care and prioritizing yourself plugs the holes of your bucket. So as you live your life and continue to do all the things you want to do for yourself and for your family and career and home and your faith, you are then so filled up that your best self overflows to all of those around you. If you're not taking the time for self-care, you're not filling the holes and you are not being as effective as you can be in your life and in your motherhood. So instead of using some of your time to do things that just has you being busy, you're going to have to carve out on purpose some time, and it doesn't have to be a lot of time, but it has to be done to prioritize self-care, plug up the holes that has your energy leaking out. And when you plug them up, you then can, by the things you're doing, it adds up and overflows. Dear listeners, Satan loves to keep us thinking we are too busy. Why? Because preoccupation with events and tasks and problems and getting things done is a surefire way to distract us from placing our thoughts into ones of loving our life and ones of trusting in God and ones of having you feel peace. Distraction with busyness allows our thoughts to be directed toward earthly things rather than heavenly things. What I offered you today is a way of focusing on the heavenly, because in taking a break from busyness, you will open wide room for living an intentional life of peace, balance, and joy. And this is what we were all created to live. A life of peace, balance, and joy. And if you haven't learned already, I can help you with all the things I talk about on this podcast. And now I'm able to help you in my group coaching program called Busy to Balanced. It's a program where we transform your brain's interpretation of you and your life that is causing you right now overwhelm, anxiety, busyness, and doubt. And we can transform that into being as happy as you want, as peaceful as you want. And it impacts greatly how profoundly you show up in this world. And it impacts it in a way, all the best ways possible. So to learn more how to join me in this program, sign up for a free discovery call today. Links to schedule will be in today's show notes, as they always are, or you can even email me directly at danielle@danielletienel.com and also on Instagram at Danielle Tienel Coaching. So you can get in touch in several ways. All right, everyone. I can't wait to hear what happens with your experiment of taking a break from busy. Have a blessed week. Much love and peace to all of you, and I will talk to you again next week. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Are you ready to take everything I teach you here and put it to work for your own life? to really learn how to have peace of mind no matter what is happening around you? If so, I'd love to have you as a client. As your coach, this is where you'll get personal and focused time on your own mind using life coaching tools, concepts, and proven life-transforming wisdom, all through a faith-filled lens. To learn more about how we can work together, come on over to danielleteenel.com. There, you'll see how to sign up for a free coaching consult and learn how to get started. Until next time, peace be with you always.